So it looks like Peloton's new strength device, which would have been a direct competitor to products like Tonal, the Vitruvian Plus, Speediance, and others, has been canceled. The strength device, which was originally referred to by Peloton as, quote, Project Cobra in a pricing survey they sent back in July 2021. This is the same pricing survey they also introduced Project Tiger, which ended up being the Peloton Guide, which is a camera that attaches to your TV and gives visual feedback during strength workouts. Well, that Peloton Guide was released a year ago in early 2022, and it's really not that great if I'm to be honest. And even though it has been improved quite a bit recently due to some updates like the ability to now count your reps, it still isn't really what a lot of people wanted, which was to have something more in line with what Tonal and others offer. Those machines being smart devices capable of utilizing a variety of attachments and capable of loading up to 200 pounds of digital resistance, or in the case of the Vitruvian Plus, over 400 pounds of digital resistance. Now, the big benefit of these types of devices is that they can provide a lot of the benefits of a cable machine or barbell training, but without all of the space requirements, and they don't require you to load and unload weights, and they can track all of your progress and make suggestions and so on. So just a really smart way to build out a space-efficient and functional strength building routine in your home. And recently, images came out of Peloton's strength device, aka Project Cobra, or more recently referred to as the Peloton Platform, thanks to a friend of ours, Bob Tremore, who posted those images from a Peloton patent to Twitter. Now, what's sort of interesting about those images, as I've discussed before, is that this Peloton strength device looks remarkably similar to the Vitruvian Plus. Of course, it has some extra bells and whistles, like the base attachment being able to adjust both inward and outward, an LED light on the platform itself showing the load and our reps completed, and some cool mock-ups of the leaderboard showing the weight that you are lifting. And by mere coincidence, this patent, which popped up really only recently last year, also happened to show up at the exact same time that the Vitruvian company was taken down on LinkedIn, which, as I discussed previously, led me to consider the possibility that maybe Peloton was buying Vitruvian or that they were partnering in some way. Now, there's still a small part of me that thinks something might be going on there in the background. The chances of that happening are pretty much non-existent, as I've since talked to the CEO of Vitruvian about it, and after laughing, he confirmed that no such thing is happening or has happened. Well, anyways, now according to an article at Peloton news site pelobuddy.com, they wrote, quote, "We have recently received reports that Project Cobra, Peloton's strength device, has been canceled entirely last summer. It is unclear when exactly Peloton pulled the plug, but it was after McCarthy's arrival at the company last year. The team assigned to Project Cobra left through a mixture of layoffs over the course of last year, leaving on their own or being transferred to other projects," end quote. Barry McCarthy, the new CEO who took over at Peloton early last year, has been known to say that they are going to be focusing on software improvements over new hardware. So a cancellation of this strength device is not surprising, although they have released 2 new products so far while he's been in charge: the Peloton Guide, as I mentioned earlier, and more recently, the Peloton Row. So if the Peloton strength device has truly been scrapped, which by all accounts that seems to be the case here, the big question is, what should Peloton owners who want a strength device at home do? As many have been waiting patiently for the Peloton strength device to come out, not really wanting to have to pay for an additional membership on top of the already fairly expensive $44 per month membership that Peloton costs. And now that it looks like no strength devices will be coming, what would be the best choice? There is Tonal, of course, but as I've also reported, Tonal seems to be in a really bad place right now. Last year, shutting down their primary studio, firing all of their original coaches and hiring new ones, being sued by their own manufacturer, Foxconn, for not paying their bills, raising the price of the Tonal machine by $1,000 from where it was, and also raising the price of the membership to become the most expensive connected fitness membership by far at $60 per month. The valuation of the company itself has dropped rapidly from close to $2 billion to now seeking funding at a valuation of less than $500 million, and they're supposedly looking to replace its CEO and founder. And while the machine is well loved by many owners, there have been concerns and reports of the arms breaking down over time. So this is a product and a company that I'm very much concerned about and unsure if I would suggest going with. Now, I recently made a whole video going over some of the best alternatives to Tonal, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But two things that I should mention here that are relevant to their memberships, as somebody who already has a Peloton, in most cases, you probably want to try to avoid having to pay too expensive monthly memberships each month. So one of the Tonal alternative Speedients actually just very recently announced that they are currently offering free lifetime memberships, which is great, though I'm not sure how long they will be offering that. So I would make sure to look into it sooner than later if that's something you're interested in. And another great option for Peloton owners, I think, is a Vitruvian Plus, because even though that does have a membership, it gives you the first year of membership for free, and you can actually buy a lifetime membership for it for like $1,000, which I know that is expensive, but if you compare that to the cost of the Peloton membership, for example, that's less than 2 years of Peloton's membership, and really not much more than 1 year of the Tonal membership at this point. So I think that's a fairly reasonable way to go. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and here's that video of the best alternatives to Tonal, so feel free to check that out. As always, appreciate you being here. This is Colin Jenkins with Connect the Watts. See you next time.